welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing great. Today I have some more fall DIYs for you again, and hopefully you will like them. I love how they all turned out, and I did in this video make material lists for each DIY, so that will be on the screen before I start each one. Just in case if you're interested, you can screenshot it and make it a little bit easier for you. And I do have everything time-stamped down below, make it easier to navigate as well. So I hope you guys are enjoying this content, and then probably next week or the week after, I'm gonna start working on some Halloween DIYs, just in case there's something you find that you like. It gives you a little bit of time to work on it and get all the supplies ready, because this week is already gonna be September, which is crazy to me. There's so much stuff I would love to show and share with you guys. Just have very limited time. It's not the only thing I do, you know, between work and we are moving and packing and renovations. It has been crazy around here. Good crazy. But so I really hope you're enjoying all the content. If you are, please consider liking and subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a good one, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys. Okay, for the first one, I'm going to be starting out with this Scarecrow, and he's the one that is on the yardstick at the Dollar Tree. And starting with the words, I'm going to be spray painting them in this Nutmeg Rust-Oleum. I used it on my last project too, and I love that color. So I'm going to be taking the E6000 glue again and just dabbing really lightly on the back of the word. And then I'm going to take it end of the paintbrush, and then where the strings from the glue have kind of spread across the letter, I'm just going to take it through there and kind of pull those off before I set it down on the wood decor piece. And this is the smaller wood decor piece. They sell two sizes at my store, a bigger one and a smaller one, so I'm using the small one. And I'm just bending the stick back and forth to rip it off the back of them. It wasn't too hard. And then once the welcome has dried on there completely with the E6000, I'm going to go in and hot glue his hands onto the sign to make it look like he's holding it. And I'm just eyeballing everything, trying to make it even. And then once I have that done, I am going to take these picks I found, but I'm taking the leaves off, and I just want to use the pumpkins, and I'm going to hot glue those down, and because I want to cover that one hole especially. So just glued those two on the bottom, and then I'm taking the leaves and I'm cutting them down, and I'm just going to be hot gluing them around both sides. I thought about doing the top and the bottom, but I thought that might be a little much, so I just stuck with both sides. And then here you can see I ended up cutting the leaves too kind of small if I had to, because it was just too much. They were too long, so if I had to cut them in half like you see there, I did, to make them fit better. And this was really simple to do. And here he's sitting. I went to go hang him up, and I set him down on the table, and he was sitting. There's about an inch left of that stick out, so he's really cute if you sit him as well. It wasn't my intended purpose, but really cute sitting. But here he is hung up. So I just thought this was a little bit different than a floral wreath or swag piece if you wanted to try something. So I hope you guys like this, or it gave you some ideas. And let's get started on this burlap wreath. And for this one, I went with more of the neutral and green colors. And here are the two colors that I'm using, the brown and kind of like a green color. So I'm going to start by wrapping this. And I am going to start by just holding it in place. And I'm actually not even going to use any hot glue on this project. I'm going to be using straight pins. If I can get away without using hot glue, I prefer to do that, because I'm always deconstructing and remaking things or reusing it on other projects. So here again, I'm just holding it at the top, and I kind of started those at an angle if you saw. And I'm doing it this way also. You don't want to if you are going to use hot glue, I wouldn't hot glue it at first, because this way it gives me kind of room to work with and pull it tight as I go, and if I need to go back and move it around, I can. So once I like everything and it's pretty even, I cut the end off, and then here I'm taking the straight pins, and I'm going to put two here on the end on this side, and then I will put two more at the top where I started. And they are colored at the top, but I'm not worried about it because I know it'll get covered with ribbon and the florals. Now I'm going through my florals and my little pumpkins to see what I have, and I decided to use the sunflowers and the pumpkins that had the brown in them. And then the ribbon, because that would kind of flow with the light brown. So it's all light browns, creams, and greens. So I'm trying to get everything to flow. So I'm going to start by taking the burlap ribbon, and I just cut a longer piece. I will go back at the end and cut it kind of like I did with the garland, if you saw that project. And then I'm going to start with the little berries. I'm going to put those at the end to kind of give it a little bit of a height, if you will. And then what I'm doing here, I'm going to replicate on the other side. So the pine cones and the little pumpkins, I'm trying to make it symmetrical here. Now I'm going to take a green and brown ribbon and tie that in the middle, and then around that knot I'm going to go in with my flowers. So the flowers are going to be more in the center of that side. And then I'm going to go back and fill in with the pumpkins. And then I also found these flowers I forgot I had. They actually have burlap on them as well. And I don't know if you can tell, one of those pumpkins I'm using, they are burlap. So it kind of helped tie everything together. So then I'm just going to go in and put a few more berries. And then once I get to the ribbon, I am just going to cut it at an angle. And I'm going to cut them down short. And then I'm going to go in with toothpicks. It's kind of hard to see, and I'm going to move the ribbon where I want it and then place a toothpick in there to hold it in place. And I'm doing the same with this greenery that I popped off the flower. I'm taking a toothpick and just pushing it through there and putting it in kind of at the top. I didn't want to smash another flower right there. I just wanted a little bit more greenery. And I also used the toothpick in the small pumpkins as well to get them into the foam. I love how this turned out. I did hang this with the flowers on the bottom, but you could hang it and turn it 90 degrees and have the flowers on the side. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one as well, and it gave you some ideas. And let's get on to the next one. I love this one. Again, I love the traditional fall colors, and it was really simple to make. But you're going to start out with your wire hanger. We're going to make the hanger for the door, and then I'm just cutting it in the middle at the bottom. I did have to apply some pressure, and then we're going to make 2 more cuts on each side, and then we're going to squeeze it together as tight as you can. Make sure it's going to stay in that position, and then I'm putting it towards the back of the foam piece. So that's going to make your hanger so you can hang it on a hook or something on your door. I am taking the pipe cleaner, and I'm just covering the wire hanger also for a little bit of protection for your door. I'm going to start with the top of this swag piece. So I'm taking 2 of these sprays, and they're all leaves and they have some berries in them. I'm going to put them towards the back a little bit also, but I'm going to start there to give it the height, and then I'm just trying to figure out exactly where I want to go next with this. But before I started that, I decided to go in with the pumpkin. So these are the only 2 pumpkins I'm using. They're the bigger ones that you can get at the Dollar Tree. So the one that's there on the angle, I did end up putting 2 toothpicks in it, and the other one just has 1, because again, they don't come on any sprays or picks. It's just a styrofoam. So then I'm going to go in with some flowers and some more berries. I'm angling the berries up also. And then when I get to the willow pieces, I'm going to angle those out as well. I will go back at the end and put more on the top to give it even more height, but I'm angling everything up. And then once I get to the middle, like here I'm putting the berries in, those are going to go straight out. And then I like to go work on the sides and just putting filler in, so some more flowers and leaves and berries. And then when I'm sticking the berries in, I get towards the middle, I start placing those downward direction and not upward, because it's kind of going to be like a upside down triangle. So on the bottom, I'm sticking the willow pieces and flowers straight into the foam piece facing down. And then again, just going back to the sides and filling those in, and then just trying to be a little bit aware of the direction of everything I'm putting in. Like those are being pointed down because it's kind of in the middle. I hope I explained everything okay. If you guys have any questions, leave me a comment down below. But I love how this turned out. And you can see I added some more up top. I could probably even add more if I wanted to. But I hope you guys enjoyed this and it gave you guys some ideas. And again, you can use different colors and you don't have to use the willow pieces. You can use greenery. I just kind of went with more of the flowers, not too much greenery. But let me know down below and let's get started on the final DIY. This last one, it was really simple and easy to do, and I love how it turned out. I will warn you though, the willow pieces are so messy. They flake off everywhere. And I know the wreaths at Dollar Tree are not perfectly in a circle, as you can see here, but by the time I'm done, you won't be able to notice once we get everything on there. So first I'm going to start by taking all the willow pieces and I'm cutting them off the bigger part of the stem. The big stem is not going to fit in there. And so all the pieces I've cut off, I'm just taking them and putting them in on the front of the wreath, not on the sides or anything yet. I'm just starting kind of in the middle and on top. And then once I go around with that, then I'm going to start taking pieces of the wheat and going around the same way. And I am keeping these all in the same direction. So I'm cutting off some taller and some shorter pieces of the wheat, and then I will start cutting down more of the willow pieces too as I go. So I'll start off with them longer and then I like to make them shorter as I go. So like that one I cut down even more, and then I'm just going to keep going around and filling in the front. And then once I get most of that filled, then I'm going to work on the inside and the outside. So I'm taking around the inside with the wheat first, and then I'm going to go on the outside and start filling it up. And then some of these longer pieces, if you don't like it or they're just too crazy, I did go through and cut off some of the ends of those, and it didn't look funny and it didn't ruin it in any kind of way. And I just kept doing the same process until I thought it looked good and full. So completely up to you. And I love the simplicity of this wreath. I think it turned out really well. So let me know what you guys think down below. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate each and every one of you for watching and supporting my channel. And I really hope you're enjoying all the DIYs. I hope you have a good one, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.